In the shadow of the glittering city lights, a once majestic mansion stood, its faded grandeur whispering secrets that beckoned me, a documentary filmmaker, into the heart of its decaying mystery. The mansion, with its overgrown gardens and peeling paint, seemed like a forgotten relic amidst the splendor of Hollywood's opulence. Intrigued by the rumors that swirled around this decaying estate, I embarked on a journey to unravel the history that lay concealed behind its imposing facade. The documentary began innocently enough, with interviews from locals who spoke of a family that had once occupied the mansion. The Smiths, a reclusive bunch, were known for hosting extravagant parties, shrouded in an air of mystery. As I delved deeper, however, the seemingly mundane interviews revealed a tapestry of disturbing events that had unfolded within the mansion's walls. The first ominous thread emerged in the form of strange rituals. Locals spoke of late-night gatherings, where the Smiths, clad in cloaks and masks, engaged in ceremonies that defied explanation. The air, thick with incense and a palpable tension, became a witness to something otherworldly unfolding behind the mansion's closed doors. As I pored over old newspaper clippings and spoke to witnesses who dared to share their stories, a pattern of unexplained deaths began to emerge. Those who attended the Smiths' gatherings seemed to meet unfortunate fates, accidents, illnesses, and inexplicable circumstances that left the community shrouded in a collective sense of dread. The mansion's history took a darker turn with the sudden disappearance of the Smith family. One fateful morning, the mansion stood silent and empty, its once lavish halls now hauntingly vacant. The family that had once been the talk of the town seemed to vanish without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of their enigmatic existence. The more I delved into the mansion's past, the more it revealed a series of unsettling occurrences that defied the laws of reason. Cryptic symbols adorned the walls, hidden in plain sight amidst faded wallpaper and peeling plaster. Each symbol seemed to tell a story of ancient rituals, a language of the occult that hinted at forces beyond the comprehension of the mortal realm. Armed with my camera and a relentless curiosity, I decided to spend a night within the mansion, capturing every creaking floorboard and lingering shadow. The air inside was heavy with the weight of the past, and as the sun dipped below the Hollywood hills, I stepped across the threshold, my senses heightened by the anticipation of the unknown. The mansion, once a symbol of opulence, had transformed into a labyrinth of eerie corridors and forgotten chambers. The air was thick with a musty scent, a cocktail of dust and decay that clung to the fraying tapestries and dilapidated furniture. My footsteps echoed through the echoing halls as I navigated the darkened labyrinth. The first sign that the mansion harbored something beyond the realm of the living manifested in the form of inexplicable drafts. Cold currents of air seemed to follow me, as if unseen entities moved in the shadows, observing my every step. The temperature fluctuated, creating pockets of unnatural cold that sent shivers down my spine. As I explored the upper floors, the mansion's dark history seemed to unravel with each step. The walls whispered tales of secret corridors, concealed chambers, and a family that had delved into realms beyond human understanding. The air became charged with an energy that seemed to dance on the edge of the supernatural. The documentary, once a quest for historical truth, morphed into a dance with forces that eluded explanation. Shadows seemed to detach themselves from the walls, taking forms that slithered and twisted in the dim light. The symbols etched onto the walls glowed faintly, their otherworldly radiance revealing the mansion's connection to something ancient and malevolent. As I entered what was once the Smiths' ceremonial chamber, the atmosphere shifted. The air became dense with an almost tactile energy, and the temperature dropped to an unsettling chill. The symbols on the walls seemed to pulsate with a sinister life, as if the very essence of the rituals performed here lingered in a spectral dance. It was in this chamber that I experienced the full force of the supernatural. A presence, an entity beyond the grasp of my understanding, manifested in the flickering candlelight. Shadows seemed to coalesce into a figure, a specter adorned in the remnants of ceremonial garb. Its eyes, void of any discernible emotion, fixed on me with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I stood frozen, my camera clutched in trembling hands, as the apparition moved towards me. The air thickened with an unseen force, and the symbols on the walls glowed with an otherworldly luminosity. It was not a ghostly apparition, but a manifestation of the dark energy that clung to the mansion like a curse. "Leave this place," a voice, a whisper that seemed to emanate from the very walls, echoed through the chamber. The apparition's eyes bore into mine, conveying a warning that transcended language. The rituals performed within these walls had summoned something beyond the control of the smiths, a malevolent force that lingered in the shadows, resentful of the intrusion. As I stumbled backward, the apparition dissipated into the darkness, leaving behind a lingering sense of foreboding. The mansion, now charged with an intensity that surpassed the limits of my understanding, seemed to pulse with a life of its own. The night unfolded in a surreal symphony of shadows and echoes. Unseen entities seemed to move through the halls, their whispers becoming an indistinct murmur that echoed through the vacant rooms. The symbols on the walls seemed to shift and morph, creating an intricate dance of arcane patterns that defied explanation. In the pre-dawn hours, as the first light of day cast a hesitant glow through the mansion's windows, I emerged from the decaying estate, my mind reeling from the supernatural encounter. The documentary, once a quest for historical truth, had become a chronicle of a dance with forces that transcended the boundaries of reason. As I left the Hollywood Hills behind, the mansion loomed like a silent sentinel of the arcane. The symbols, shadows, and whispers had etched themselves into the very fabric of my consciousness. The glamorous exterior of Hollywood held secrets that few dared to uncover, and the mansion, with its dark history and malevolent energies, became a testament to the thin veil that separated the known from the unknowable. And so, dear listeners, as you gaze upon the glittering lights of Hollywood, remember that behind the facade of glamour lies a realm where the past lingers, where symbols on the walls whisper ancient tales, and where the air itself bears witness to a dance with forces that defy explanation. The mansion in the Hollywood Hills, a relic of decadence and darkness, stands as a silent reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed, hidden behind the faded grandeur of a bygone era. This is a tale of a professional surfer's harrowing journey, where the pursuit of conquering the ocean becomes a descent into the unknown. As a professional surfer, Santa Cruz had always been more than just a hometown. It was where the rhythmic roar of the Pacific waves had become the soundtrack of my life, where the salty breeze and the sun-kissed beaches held memories etched into the very fabric of my existence. But returning for a competition would unravel the tranquility I once associated with this surfer's paradise. The surf competition, a beacon drawing me back to my roots, promised adrenaline and triumph. Little did I know that the ocean, a realm I had considered my ally, harbored a malevolent force eager to test the limits of my courage. It all began innocently enough, with the familiar embrace of the waves as I paddled out for a pre-competition session. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm glow on the churning sea. The waves, formidable and majestic, seemed to welcome me back with a symphony of crashing surf. Yet, as I navigated the familiar swells, an inexplicable change in weather marred the picture-perfect day. The sky, once a canvas of blue brilliance, darkened with ominous clouds that gathered like a brooding storm. The wind, an unseen force, whispered secrets that mingled with the roar of the waves. Ignoring the atmospheric shifts, I paddled out, determined to reconnect with the essence of my craft. But the ocean, once a friend, became a turbulent adversary. The waves rose with an unnatural intensity, crashing against me with a force that defied the ebb and flow of natural tides. As I fought against the relentless current, I noticed strange markings on my surfboard, cryptic symbols etched into the fiberglass, invisible to the untrained eye. They seemed to appear and disappear with the rhythm of the waves, like ancient hieroglyphs inscribed by an unseen hand. Undeterred, I continued my quest, driven by a surfer's relentless pursuit of the perfect wave. Yet, with each attempt to conquer the unruly sea, the symbols on my board seemed to morph and twist, creating an otherworldly pattern that mirrored the tumultuous energy of the ocean. The turning point came when I caught a wave that soared to majestic heights. The power of the swell surged beneath me, and for a moment, the world blurred into a breathtaking dance of salt spray and sunlight. But as I descended, the vision shifted. In the heart of the crashing wave, I glimpsed a mysterious figure, a silhouette cloaked in the frothy embrace of the sea. Its eyes, if eyes they were, glowed with an otherworldly luminescence. Panic surged, but before I could comprehend the encounter, the figure dissipated into the swirling waters. A shiver crawled down my spine as I resurfaced, the symbols on my board now pulsating with an unearthly glow. The ocean, it seemed, had woven a tapestry of mystery, entwining my fate with the malevolent force that lurked beneath the waves. Determined to unravel the enigma, I turned to the local surf community, hoping to find answers in the whispers of those who had danced with the Pacific for years. What I discovered, however, plunged me into a realm where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred. The locals spoke of an ancient legend that lingered in the lore of Santa Cruz, the tale of La Sirena Oscura, a dark mermaid said to roam the waters, luring surfers into a realm where the ocean itself held dominion over life and death. They spoke of strange occurrences, waves that seemed to answer an unseen call, surfers who vanished without a trace, and the inexplicable changes in weather that heralded La Sirena Oscura's presence. Skeptical yet compelled, I delved into the folklore of Santa Cruz, where the sea held secrets that transcended the understanding of mortal minds. The legend, though dismissed by many as a cautionary tale, seemed to echo in the eerie markings on my surfboard and the haunting vision of the figure in the waves. The competition loomed, and with it, an ominous foreboding. The ocean, once a stage for triumph, now seemed like a darkened theater where the curtains concealed a malevolent performance. The symbols on my board, a constant reminder of an unseen force, compelled me to confront La Sirena Oscura and the mysteries that clung to Santa Cruz's surf culture. The night before the competition, as the moon cast a silvery glow on the restless waves, I returned to the ocean's edge. Armed with nothing but a sense of determination, I entered the water, the surfboard bearing the cryptic symbols beneath my feet. The ocean responded with an eerie calm, as if the very elements held their breath in anticipation. I paddled into the darkened expanse, guided by an invisible force that seemed to draw me towards the heart of the mystery. As I waited for the perfect wave, the atmosphere shifted. The air thickened with an energy that mirrored the hushed whispers of the locals. The symbols on my board glowed with an intensity that matched the luminescence of La Sirena Oscura's eyes. And then, it happened, a colossal wave rose from the depths, its power transcending the boundaries of natural tides. I paddled with a surfer's instinct, riding the swell that seemed to answer an ancient call. The symbols on my board pulsed with the rhythm of the ocean, creating a harmonious dance between surfer and sea. In the heart of the wave, I glimpsed her, La Sirena Oscura, a spectral figure surrounded by the liquid embrace of the ocean. Her eyes, now a piercing gaze, locked onto mine with an intensity that transcended mortal understanding. The symbols on my board, a conduit between worlds, seemed to bridge the gap between the living and the supernatural. As I descended with the wave, a surge of awareness flooded my senses. I became one with the ocean, connected to its depths and the ancient force that pulsed within. La Sirena Oscura, no longer a malevolent specter, became a guardian of the surf, a mythical entity intertwined with the very essence of Santa Cruz's waves. The competition unfolded with an uncanny serenity, as if the ocean itself had acknowledged the symbiotic dance between surfer and legend. The symbols on my board, now a testament to a journey into the unknown, remained etched beneath my feet, a reminder of the mysteries that lurked beneath the surface. As I emerged from the water, victorious in the competition, I felt a profound sense of connection to the sea. The legends of Santa Cruz, though steeped in the supernatural, had woven themselves into the tapestry of my surfing journey. The ocean, once a mere playground, had become a realm where the mundane met the mystical, where La Sirena Oscura's gaze lingered in the shadows of crashing waves. And so, dear listeners, as you stand on the shores of Santa Cruz, remember that beneath the sun-kissed surface lies a realm where legends come to life, where the ocean itself harbors secrets that defy explanation. The symbols on my board, glowing faintly in the moonlight, are a testament to the thin veil that separates the known from the unknown, a reminder that sometimes, the most terrifying mysteries are hidden in the waves that beckon surfers to dance on the edge of the abyss. It's time for another bone-chilling tale that unfolds beneath the city of angels itself, Los Angeles. It's a story of urban exploration gone awry, as a group of daring individuals descends into the forgotten tunnels that snake beneath the bustling metropolis, unearthing echoes of the past that should have remained buried. As an avid urban explorer, the allure of hidden secrets beneath the city's surface had always beckoned to me. The promise of forgotten history and mysterious tunnels was too tempting to resist. So, armed with flashlights, a sense of curiosity, and a motley crew of fellow enthusiasts, we set out to unravel the subterranean enigma that lurked beneath Los Angeles. Our journey began innocently enough, as we accessed the tunnels through a long-forgotten entrance concealed in the bowels of an abandoned building. The air, thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, hinted at the passage of time that had rendered these tunnels obsolete. The first section we navigated was a maze of narrow corridors and crumbling brick walls, the feeble beam of our flashlights revealing the remnants of a bygone era. The tunnels, it seemed, were a relic of a forgotten purpose, their original use shrouded in the obscurity of the city's history. As we delved deeper, the oppressive darkness seemed to swallow our feeble attempts at illumination. The only sounds that accompanied our footsteps were the distant echoes of dripping water and the occasional scurrying of unseen creatures in the shadows. The air, heavy with the weight of the unknown, bore witness to a history that lay dormant but not forgotten. The first unsettling sign of something amiss came in the form of unexplained sounds that reverberated through the tunnel's whispers, footsteps, and distant echoes seemed to dance on the periphery of our senses, teasing us with their elusive origin. We exchanged nervous glances, our bravado waning in the face of the inexplicable. As we pressed on, the tunnel system expanded into a labyrinthine network, each corridor leading to another enigma. It was in one of these sprawling chambers that we caught our first glimpse of a shadowy figure, a fleeting silhouette that seemed to dissolve into the darkness upon our approach. Chalking it up to tricks of the mind and the eerie play of shadows, we continued our exploration, determined to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the subterranean depths. The air grew colder, and a pervasive feeling of being watched settled over us like a shroud. The second encounter with the shadowy figures was less dismissible. As we turned a corner, our flashlights illuminated a cluster of indistinct shapes. Humanoid in form, these shadows appeared to linger in the periphery, their presence palpable yet intangible. We called out, but the figures remained silent, disappearing into the shadows as if the tunnels themselves had swallowed them whole. The unsettling encounters only intensified as we ventured further into the abyss. The feeling of being watched became a constant companion, and the unexplained sounds grew more pronounced. Whispers seemed to echo through the tunnels, their words lost to the passage of time, leaving us with an eerie sense of intrusion into a realm not meant for the living. In one expansive chamber, adorned with rusted pipes and forgotten machinery, we stumbled upon an arrangement of old photographs scattered across the damp floor. Faces frozen in time, staring back at us with eyes that seemed to hold a silent plea. The photographs, relics of the past, hinted at a history intertwined with the tunnels, a narrative that begged to be unraveled. As we inspected the photographs, the air grew thick with an unspoken tension. The feeling of being watched intensified, and the shadows seemed to gather in the corners, forming an oppressive presence that lingered just beyond the reach of our flashlights. Our exploration reached its climax when we entered a chamber adorned with faded murals, cryptic symbols and fragmented images painted on the walls. The air hummed with an energy that transcended the physical realm, and a sense of foreboding settled over us like a heavy mist. It was in this chamber that the shadows coalesced into a palpable form. Figures, human in outline but devoid of substance, materialized before our eyes. Their eyes, or the void where eyes should be, fixated on us with a penetrating gaze that sent shivers down our spines. "Leave this place," a voice, an ethereal whisper that seemed to resonate from the very walls, echoed through the chamber. The figures, silent sentinels of the forgotten tunnels, seemed to convey a warning that transcended the boundaries of our understanding. Fear gripped us, and we retraced our steps, the feeling of being pursued intensifying with every echoing footstep. The shadows, once mere observers, seemed to follow us through the winding corridors, their presence an ominous specter that haunted our escape. As we emerged from the tunnels, gasping for breath and bathed in the harsh light of the surface, the shadows dissipated into the darkness. The air, heavy with the scent of damp earth and the weight of untold secrets, bore witness to our harrowing journey into the subterranean unknown. The tunnels beneath Los Angeles, once a hidden world of forgotten history, had revealed their secrets, shadows that lingered on the fringes of perception, whispers that echoed through the corridors of time, and a pervasive feeling of being watched by entities from a realm beyond our understanding. And so, dear listeners, as you navigate the bustling streets of Los Angeles, remember that beneath the glamour and neon lights lies a realm where the past refuses to stay buried. The forgotten tunnels, with their shadows and whispers, stand as a testament to the thin veil that separates the known from the unknowable. Whether these shadows are remnants of a bygone era or something more spectral, the tunnels beneath Los Angeles harbor secrets that challenge the boundaries of our understanding, waiting for the curious to plunge into the abyss and confront the echoes of history that refuse to fade away.